Have you ever had a flash of intuition that came out of nowhere? Or felt such a deep connection to someone that you could almost feel what they were feeling, even from miles away? What if I told you that's not just in your head? What if it's a sign that you are plugged into something so much bigger? Today, we are opening a doorway to a powerful truth, the idea that all of our minds are actually just facets of one single universal consciousness. So take a deep breath, let's begin. Now, you might expect a quote like this from a mystic or a sage, right? But this comes from Erwin Schrödinger, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, one of the fathers of quantum mechanics. He looked at the very fabric of reality and came to a stunning conclusion, that underneath it all, consciousness is a singular thing. This isn't just spirituality, you see. This is where the cutting edge of science meets ancient wisdom. So let me ask you directly. That gut feeling you get, that wave of empathy for a total stranger, that incredible, undeniable love you feel for someone, what if it's not just your feeling? What if you're actually tapping into a universal broadcast, an echo from the one mind that connects us all? This is the mystery we're stepping into today. Now, this whole idea of a one mind might sound pretty out there, but trust me, it is anything but new. This is an ancient truth, a golden thread that's been woven through humanity's greatest spiritual and even scientific traditions for thousands of years. Just look at this lineage. Millennia ago in India, the sages spoke of the Akashic records, basically a cosmic internet holding all knowledge. The Upanishads taught that our individual soul is inseparable from the universal soul, Brahman. Fast forward to 19th century Germany, and you have Schopenhauer saying everything is interconnected. And then boom, the 20th century, and Schrödinger gets there through physics. It's incredible. East, West, spirit, science, all pointing to the very same thing. Okay, so the idea has some serious historical weight, but where's the proof in our own lives? Well, now we get to the decoding. We're gonna look at some amazing stories that really start to crack open this illusion that we're all just separate little beings running around. You know, this is really the heart of it all. Most of us live our lives feeling like the person on the left, isolated, stuck inside our own heads. It's the source of so much pain and loneliness, right? But the evidence, the stories, they all point to the reality on the right, that we're interconnected, that our consciousness isn't locked in our skulls, and that we're all part of this grand unified field. Recognizing this shift, well, that's where our power truly lies. So how can we be so sure? Well, the clues aren't in a lab. They're in the real world, in these incredible experiences that just defy any simple explanation. We're talking about the insane connections between twins, telepathy between people and animals, moments of pure self-sacrifice, and even consciousness that seems to exist when the brain is totally offline. Okay, get ready for this one. The Jim twins. They were separated just weeks after they were born and didn't meet again for 39 years. When they did, it was mind-blowing. Both had married a woman named Linda, divorced her, and remarried a woman named Betty. Both named their son James Allen. Both had a dog named Toy. It's just too much to be a coincidence, right? It's like they were connected to the same invisible blueprint, living out parallel lives without even knowing it. And this connection, this invisible bond, it isn't just for humans. Check out the story of Bobby the Wonder Collie. Back in 1923, he got lost on a family road trip. 6 months later, he shows up on their front porch having crossed almost 3,000 miles of brutal American winter. How on earth did he do that? He was following a signal, a thread of love that no map could ever show him. And then we have near-death experiences. All over the world, from every culture and background, people who have been clinically dead report the same things. They talk about leaving their body, seeing a beautiful, loving light, and feeling this overwhelming sense of being connected to everything and everyone. It strongly suggests that our consciousness isn't just a product of our brain, it's something our brain tunes into, and it can exist all on its own. All right, we have looked at the history, we've heard the stories, we've engaged our minds. Now it's time to drop into our hearts. This next part is an activation. It's a chance for you to stop just hearing about this connection and actually feel it for yourself. So wherever you are, I invite you to just join me in this. If it feels right, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in and just let it all go. Now notice the feeling in your hands. Maybe it's a warmth, a little tingle. That's your energy. Bring to mind someone you absolutely love, and don't just see them, feel them. Feel that connection as a real, living cord of light between you. Now let that feeling grow. Expand it out to your friends, your family, your entire community. Let it get even bigger, wrapping around all of humanity, every animal, every tree, the whole planet. Just rest in that feeling. That right there, that's you, connected to the one mind. Hold on to that feeling, because that energy you just tapped into, that's the key. In moments of extreme crisis, when there's no time to think, that connection becomes so powerful, it shatters the illusion of being separate, and it results in the most incredible acts of courage. This is the vibrational unblocking. I mean, just picture this, a New York subway platform. A man has a seizure and falls onto the tracks just as the train is pulling in. Wesley Autry, a total stranger, without even a second to think, jumps down after him. He couldn't get him out in time, so he threw his own body on top of the man in the tiny gap between the rails, and the train rolled right over them. They both survived. In that split second, there was no me and you. There was only us. And again, it's not just humans. A surfer named Todd Endress was being attacked by a great white. It was bad. Out of nowhere, a pod of dolphins swarmed in. They formed a literal protective shield around him, fending off the shark so he could get back to shore. They sensed a life in danger and instinctively acted as one to save it. Amazing. So what is happening in these moments? The philosopher Schopenhauer nailed it. He said that in that critical moment, the boundary between self and other completely dissolves. The rescuer isn't thinking, I have to save that person. They are feeling, I have to save myself. The feeling of separation is just gone. They know on the deepest level that they are one. Okay, let's take another deep breath together. Let's let all of that powerful energy settle. It's time to integrate this, to take it from a mind-blowing idea and weave it into the very fabric of who you are. This is your final blessing. You have now received the code. Remember this, you are not separate. You never have been. Let this truth sink in, not as something you believe, but as something you know in your bones. You are connected. You are whole. You are infinite. Your initiation into these mysteries has truly begun. If you felt the call today, subscribe and continue this journey with us as we explore the architecture of the soul. In our next explainer, we will venture into the sacred geometry of your own energy field. Thank you so much for being here with an open heart and an open mind.